bona go ba teba tsa gore wa re senyetsa kere
mme kgang ya gore Masisi must resign e se motla ka bo morwae.
Motsetso me ke tse sebaka se ke go dumedise ke bo ke go amogela thulaganyo ya Batenegi at Parliament Talk Show, broadcasting live from the Access TV studios right here in Gaborone. Botswana ke video wa ging Batenegi ke re a re ne mmogo le mo tsatsing la gompieno thulaganyo e tang go wena la video mo le go simolola ka nna go ile ya bosupa go ithala ka nako ya boropa bobedi. Batenegi at Parliament on Facebook as well as YouTube, Access TV on Facebook ke gona go le gore o ka lebella thulaganyo ya rona ya tsatsi la gompieno teng jaaka ke go soletse ha mo parlamente wa pele wa kgaolo ya mogoditshane ra etso sedirwa khoroba Chili. Thank you so much. It's been a long time, eh?
Yeah, thank you, Spanito. It's been quite a while. Yeah,
it's been a long time.
A very long time.
I think the last time I saw you were wearing, some purple colors. Now you are.
Oh yeah.
Just lime green.
Yeah, now I'm lime now.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
The lime movement.
The lime movement. Yeah.
Chili, going back to 2014. Well, I have to be honest with you, like I've told you before. At that time, I never thought you'll win.
Win in 2014. Yeah,
I never thought you'll win.
Yeah.
I think I did tell you.
You did tell me. You still remembered my speech at a very small rally at that time.
Yeah.
And what I said, Nagwading. Yeah.
So I never thought you'll win at that time. You surprised a lot of people, including me. You went into the 11th Parliament, creating a very good relationship, or cementing a very good relationship, not only with the people of Mogoditshane, but with people, the nation at large.
Yeah.
2019. You gave away the constituency to the Botswana Democratic Party. What went wrong?
Well, I didn't give it away. Look, south of Debate, no opposition member of parliament won. So that should tell you something. There was something. People attributed that to the Masisi wave or Masisi Khama feud. But you then ask yourself, why only south of Debate? Why not north of Debate? So it's something that I don't buy into. But
Masisi Khama feud, how? Like how would it affect you as the opposition, or have any influence in terms of you losing the elections? Well,
that is the big question, or the difficult question, because people said no, they didn't vote opposition because they wanted to support Masisi against Khama. But then you ask yourself, why support the really south of Debate? Why not north of Debate or nationally? Why not both? Why south of Debate hell? Why support Masisi south of Debate? So that is why we suspect rigging.
Yes. Before we get into those issues of rigging, I'm not saying I'm buying into that notion at the Masisi Khama.
Yeah.
I'm not implying that, but don't you think those who believe that is maybe you were saying why south not north? Maybe it's because the president comes from the south.
Hey, we have. I think over 50% of the people, Mohaborone and surrounding areas, are from the north. So why don't they support Wabone go north Lebon? Maybe Komitsaning, Kotlasi, but you can't say that with Gaborone. Gaborone is not only constituted by people from the south. No.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe you angered the people by moving away from the opposition coalition. Don't you think that was also one of the factors that contributed to your loss?
Could be, but when you look at our numbers, to be specific, all the opposition numbers, so you can't even attribute that to vote splitting. So something doesn't add up about the numbers.
You are saying
2019.
Do you really, like, is that your submission?
Yeah, well, that's my suspicion. I don't have evidence, but I highly suspect there was rigging. Spanito born. Kana south of the Batenegi, hakona highly constituency of one. Edulenka more than one opposition councillor. Kore, kuma parliament hakona la mo parliament winning gontlela ko khalakadi ko khatike mango o BNF. Motsamai is the only one who won, but and le gone go motsamai go na le bo ma councillor a le 3 opposition, but Gaborone and surrounding areas that there's not one constituency e go winning mo councillor a hita one wa opposition. That's unusual. That's very unusual.
Yeah, but when the Umbrella for Democratic Change went to court to, submit that they also suspect that the elections were nowhere to be seen. Somebody will be surprised.
Who, me?
The other opposing parties who are not necessarily part of the Umbrella for Democratic Change. Unless you are submitting that the Alliance for Progressives, they supported the
No. You don't jump to go to court because you'll pay heavily. That is why
Umbrella for Democratic.
well, we didn't know that, Boko stands alone. Libo dumela ne ba sa itse gore gate bosupi ke ne ba ntse ba le mo UDC na kwa te no go itse ene le gore a re bosupi ke. So you can't join a bandwagon gote go yua khoto bo ya khote me o sa itse gore ma itsetse pelo ga gago ke. You can't.
So ne le belaela gore le tsieditswe mme when Umbrella for Democratic Change led by Comrade Guino Mbogo go to court, you don't want to support
no, we supported.
Okay, how did you support?
We supported. Some of the leadership AP attended the court cases. I didn't. But I supported on social media. I gave my support.
Are you saying that that was enough?
What else should I do? Should we all go to court? No, we can't all go to court, Spanito.
Well, you can join. You could have joined the Umbrella for Democratic Change and also become an applicant.
No. An applicant?
Yes.
No. And then, Kisnabusubi. I can't.
Yeah, I get no can ha sileba le ngore bane bara bara le bosupi le na khono wa uta mo go bone re ha ke we wa uta mo go bone gore bosupi bo bosutseng ke
uta gore kare. At that time Dumelang Saleshandu was vice president of the UDC. Even today Dumelang ga itse gore ga te bosupi bonele nna ne ke tla go ke le mang ke tswa go AP vice president of UDC ena sa itse gore ga te bosupi ke nna ne ke tla go ke le mang. So I couldn't join that bandwagon. Yeah.
So this time around, do you believe the elections are going to be free and fair?
No. They've never been free and fair when you talk of free and fair. But maybe the question you wanted to ask, Corey, is there going to be rigging? There's a highlight.
I still, given a chance, I'll still ask that question like the same way I asked it. If you think the elections, the next elections are going to be, free and fair.
Look, our elections have never been free and fair. How can they be free and fair in 2014? I mean 2024. The BCP has been pushing for changes in the way elections are managed. Go the polling station. The BDP that's unfair. Number one. Number two, the BDP spoke about political party funding. They've gone quiet. But the big tender boys, the Chinese and the Indians and the big business in this country, they finance the BDP. nna hela ke ya go Spanito ana le semausi ke re ke kopa 200 pula Spanito ntima madi but mo BDP ga tla wa monela because Spanito na le hope ya gore go nka ja tenderanyana ya supply wa so it's unfair it's not free and fair they have the finance we don't have it. So right now, the BDP is splashing merchandise all over. You know, merchandise or BDP, where do they get the money?
Yeah.
We know where they get it. They get it from big business.
Yes.
And that big business is not willing to give us that sponsorship or financial support because yeah.
Or maybe the elections are free but not fair.
No.
Are they not free?
No, they're not free.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not free. When you say they're free, you mean people have also been educated. You still find a whole university professor abua so se leng gore ga o kgone go tlhaloganya gore a re o mmolelela gore ditlhopho tsa Botswana are not free o mmolelela ka the unfairness of it a ba gore a re no but a ke re mme batho ga ba itewe ga ba go tlhopha go tlhoka go itewa ga gore they are free. It's important for people to be educated and it's the government of the day's responsibility to educate the people about ditlhopho and politics and they're not doing that.
E ka re le ngongora ga le bantsinyana so le go tswa go kganetsong gore gongwe dithopo di ka ski di go le sere kana tsa nna bit of fair. Somebody will be interested to know what is it that you are going to do because le to go lebella le re well ba rebela la gore ga ba tsamaisi dithopo esente maybe na kongo go tana le sega kudu mo go bona gore ba tsamaise dithopo. Somebody will be interested to know what is it that you are going to do and what is it that you are going to do different this time around.
Well, like I'm saying, for the past 4 years or so, co-parliamenting, the opposition has been advocating for changes in the electoral processes. But the BDP has turned a deaf ear, that shows you there's no fairness, and they haven't, because they have the numbers, they use their numbers to vote and outvote the opposition on their motions. So that it's not even about to vote on. You don't have to vote on something on justice or injustice. Injustice is injustice. It doesn't matter how many people vote for injustice. It's injustice. So you don't apply votes most on say it's unfair. You apply votes most on say it's a decision. It's not about injustice or justice.
Yes, you have been a member of parliament. Before you want to go back to parliament.
You can ask for yes,
I'll ask him the same question if he was here, but I'm asking you.
But I've set myself a time frame. My intention when I went into politics was to make sure there's regime change, and there's no regime change. So it's an oath that I've taken. I'll be part of the team or the organization or group of people who are going to bring change in this country because we need that change. So, regime change has not been effected, and it's not only about the regime change. Even if opposition we win elections in this coming election, it's still important that I see to it that we deliver what we have promised the people, the changes that we have promised the people. The good things that we have promised the people. I'm a vocal person. I'm a fair person. So I also need to be there to guard for the people who believe in me or the people that I represent. That if the BCP goes into power, the BCP delivers that which it promised the people to deliver. So ha BCP ka tsa power e be ke nne be ka no don't kra ga idule and then I'm on the outside hona le re mongwe ke monna mogolo ko hali dumane halo bidwa re mabashi ke mo BCP o motona on Sunday we were there and then he was saying BCP ga e ka tsa puso ebe e sa dire dilo sentle ke boela go kganetsong ke a go ganetsa wa bona. So we need to stand up and see to it that which the BCP promise does happen.
Yes, apart from the regime change that you are preaching and you say you want to see through it, one will be interested to know what about the changes in the constituency? What changes would you say you effected within those 5 years?
Yeah, number one. Dikolo tsa rona, especially the junior secondary schools, ne di tlhaelwa ke di-class where there was a point where we had about 60 plus students in a class. I fought with the government or no, something should be done, and because it was an emergency, go ne go rekiwa bo di-porter camp tse leng gore le gompieno bana ba tsenela mo go tsona. That's one thing that I achieved. The second thing that I achieved is that road, Mgoditsane Block 5, Block 9, construction was supposed to start in 2022. It started in 2018 because I put pressure for that construction.
The one that connects to the filling station?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, Honehal, yeah. The land issue, yali dumani, but I went to plead with Ian Kama then that Ragos Panito na litsimo ya tsewa go abela batho ditso. Bos Panito ba 5. Initially ne le gore goromentare ke nela Ragos Panito plot. Bos Panito ba tla itsheba. I pleaded with Kama and he listened to me. About me are ne le bana. So Bos Panito le bo monna le bo mogolo e be ba hiwa di plot. But the issue is still unresolved because as a member of parliament, it was not to go and micromanage or so there was a committee it must manage the allocation of those plots, and things started going wrong. Whether the committee or the land board, I don't know. And these are the things that I want to go back and fix, because I get make a campaign So yes, I accomplished a number of things.
But one will say, like, when looking at your track record in parliament in terms of the performance in terms of other parliamentary duties such as asking questions, tabling motions or private members' bills, somebody will say your performance was a little below par. You are not asking. We will not see most of. We will not see your name on the order paper more often to say, look, this is a parliamentary question that was asked by, or is to be asked by Residro Khoro, but this is a motion, this is a private member's bill. What would you say to somebody who say, but look, why should I vote Chile when his performance in terms of the questions and the motions that he presented into parliament, it was below par?
Yeah, let me tell you something about questions. Questions will come from departments, from Bosetu, for instance, or from the Nurses Association, from Spanito Abereka, co-Minister of Finance, or co-Agri.
Ke go emise gore re kholo ba re bukutso ha re tswa go bota o nkaraba mo go ene e potswe kutaba ba ntatamela ka gore re setse re a bukutso ntulaganya Batenegi parliament talk show ke video wa geng Batenegi ra itso se dirwa khoroba ke mo parliament wa pele wa kgaolo ya mogodisana go gola gore kgaolo ya no e kgawagantswe ga bedi ke mogodisana west and east. The result of the demarcation of constituencies, the constituencies are 61 across the country from 57. Report about by music topogo ya Mogoditsane East. Imela jalo. Ona ka khelo kgotsa potso Facebook Batenegi Parliament as well as Access TV. Re bua ka re tswa ka tebere tswela jalo le thulaganyo.
Good evening and welcome to the most exciting episode of Firma Talk with me, Bipelo Kiting Khosigadi.
Disciplined. Yes, there were those challenges, those temptations out there. That okay, now I have access to Heki. You have 5 clipanyana. Now I have more freedom. So I had to be so grounded.
I'm 43 years old. Women by age yaga, we are failing you. We are failing bana barona.
Definitely.
We are busy. Listen, it's good to go to the gym. It's good to take care of yourself. But we are forgetting to be mothers. We are forgetting to be aunts.
Smoking itself, in and of itself, is not cool.
Mind you, I was called the lunch bag girl, the makeup girl. Everybody knew me as the Bridget, the makeup. Hey, you nangalar makeup yo. Hey, mo bad, you know.
Yeah. We're talking about being content with yourself in regards to being in your element of an essence of a woman. He will complete me. There's no narrative with my other half. Be a complete human being before you can join into another human being. Into that car.
Mothetsume ke bue ke go amogela mo thulaganyong ya Batenegi at Parliament Talk Show, broadcasting live from the Access TV studios. Na ke video wa geng Batenegi thulaganyo e tanko go yana la video mo go simolola ka nena kwele ya go supa go thela kana ko ya boroba bobedi ya kana ke tlhalosa ke na le rights se dirwa khoroba Parliament wa pele wa khaolo ya mo go tsena khoroba a re tswela le thulaganyo me a re tswela le thulaganyo ya santse ke buditse potso gone gore look, for somebody who says, look, your performance in terms of bringing parliamentary questions, table motions or private members bill, not that it's the only duty of a member of parliament, but on that particular aspect, for somebody who will say, look, but your performance in that regard as a member of parliament has been below par. Why should I vote for you? But how would you respond to that?
Yeah, it's quite interesting because just today, I got a call from somebody inquiring katsamaiso ya tsone dipotso go parlamenteng because so salane etse mongwe wa ma parlamente potso go ra e botse ga isko e botse. You know, there's discrimination go parlamenteng. The powers for
So you're saying you're discriminated?
Yeah, let me explain. The authority ya gore go tsengwa potso di le kae tsa bomang lies with the speaker. So speaker ra wa tlaetsa matlho nna go ra re hela re nya dipotso tsa go di tla tsena o tletse dipotso di le kana tsa bosemamang so tsa go di go morago wa kante le parliament ya go tswala la dipotso tsa go di se di tsene and ha di tswa go ra gore ha e tla go tsena gape next time you have to submit again.
I don't understand. Why is it that you are the only member of parliament or former member of parliament who have complained about this?
You know, let's say 63 members of parliament now, I get.
Yeah.
Yeah. All 63 submit. And the mongo huya quota. Honga huya quota raya 4. So I loro hilo quota raya 4 and you are number 51 to submit, for instance. 50 times 4, 200 ezel. Di ako tsena pele a ga go etsena. Wa bona. Because ba tle pele I get. Ba submit le pele. But ha gongwe wa kubu ga o itharo no gompieno ke submit le hela di tloga. Wa bona. Me o bolela gore nya di go morago. How will you know gore go buiwa nnete kana ga go buiwe nnete? But that's the discrimination that
but
is
what
there.
have you done? I mean, good, I'm trying to listen to you, Rekro. This is the notice paper.
Yes. But what I'm trying to tell
This
you
is the order paper. And you look at the
Spanito.
The agenda on this particular papers, you will see
Spanito.
Questions, variety of questions from members of parliament. Maybe you should appreciate that.
No,
really,
let me tell you.
Bringing up questions.
Let me tell you. It's at the discretion of the speaker. I even went to Kagiso Molatlegi kya go mana le ene gore kana ke sala ke tsentse dipotso ga di tsene.
But my surprise is you are the only member of parliament who have ever heard complaining about this. One thing that I know is that some members of parliament normally will complain about questions without notice. Kraore jaaka le metsi tabele le maparlamente le metsi matshelo a batho gore ona le kganyeng mo ileng gore o dumela gore ga maybe it's an urgent question. That's why the discussion of the
how I'm the only member of parliament. Am I the only one you've asked?
I'm covered 11th parliament and 12th.
No. Ka re potso eo ya gore why dipotso tsa go di sa tsene go na le o kileng wa
Yes, I've asked. I've asked
quite one hello moditseng a ba go a sa ngongorege ya ka ke ngora mphale one.
No, I've asked quite a number of members of parliament.
Ga bana maina Spanish.
Nya ga ke dumele gore re tsantse gore re ka nna be ke gore a kere re goeng kana re motawasani
kana a tro go bua ka madonkra.
No, look, I'm just picking up names.
No, yeah, you're picking up names of people that you've spoken to.
Hey, I'm just picking out names. Kore ke le ka go spensa gore melo ena re khoroba gongwe wa mogela gore gongwe no sa tisi dipotso tse di lekaneng go speaker.
Kana Spanito le ga o rialo. It's not like ha gona dipotso tsene ke
No, I'm not saying you have never asked any questions.
Hey, there were questions.
What I'm trying to say is your performance was below par in terms of bringing those
so
questions.
Number of questions is your yardstick.
No. Can I give you a cantele putting a disclaimer to say not to say that tabling of motions or private members' bills or parliamentary questions are the only are the only duties of members of parliament. Kere mo go e ramogela gore me o no le ko morago nyana
Spanit ka gore ba batle go ntumela. There was a motion that was passed in 2015 wa automatic progression. I'm anti automatic progression. It passed in parliament. Even today that motion has not been signed. 2015 2018 is our sign. Up to today Masisi Raisa was signed, number one. Number two, there was a private member's bill that I worked on. Yeah, the disabled. Mone kere, how Spanito.
Did you table it?
I'm explaining. Yeah. The injustice that is at parliament. Bill atene le gore Spanito ya ka ntse ya nana le ngwana wa bona le bogole. Spanito sa khone go a tirong because o tlhokometse ngwana wa. Spanito should be paid a living allowance because ha khone go iperekela o tlhokometse ngwana. Ngwana should also have an allowance because ngwana ga khone go pagama kombi, ha khone go pagama sengwe le sengwe ga o mo isa di check up o mo isa and ngwana o expensive o rekala di pampers in. That's what was contained in that bill. Lastly, bill ya tenere ha ngwano a ka tlhokahala Spanito a na le 25 years a mo tlhokometse Spanito o tshwanetse go calculate let's say you are given an allowance at 2.5 go tshwanetse gore Spanito go calculate gratuity ya gago for those 25 years because bogole ba ngwano bo iditse Spanito go a go bereka. Let me tell you what happened. Ebe ba ke submita go go presidential affairs ine le molale then ke tsamaya ke go molale because the speaker requested that I discuss it le molale and Molale must approve it before it goes to parliament. Molale send me to finance and Tarano. I went to Matambo. Matambo ampusetsa gape go go molale. Molale. So you see, wait a minute. Because they didn't want the bill to come through. So how there's injustice.
Yeah.
That bill should at least by a hand on the floor of parliament. They did not even allow it to go to the floor of parliament.
Yes, are you telling Batswana that as members of parliament, before you bring motions or private members' bills, the ministers have to approve them first?
For my private member's bill to see the light of day in parliament, it has to go to the speaker. It has to be approved by the speaker. If the speaker no, before I can approve it or it's in the parliament, minister what do I do?
Yes, you are a former legislator. Senegere o sthalosetse moretsi wa me khotsa molebedi wa thulaganya Batenegi parliament ke gore a o bara hore ha o le mo parliament go rutise motion ka private members bill. It has to be approved by a minister first. Who is by extension a member of the executive?
I don't know what other private members bill had to go through. I'm telling you about how mine what it had to go through. But I know there have been private members bill that have gone to the floor of parliament. But it was frustrated. So how I didn't perform. You can imagine a bill because when campaigning, not only in my constituency, there was a time and these are things that I tried to address. But they were frustrated by the system.
There needs to be separation of powers. Like when a member of the community out there or a citizen of Botswana vote for you, they want you to put the issues out there in parliament. Somebody at home is asking themselves, oh, okay, so Huriana get up parliament, then maybe table like a motion private members bill. I go to an appeal. I get some issue. Parliament don't need to at is a motion, at is a private members bill. No, there is a particular issue that is pertaining to the ministry, but I'm intending it to bring it before parliament. Not necessarily that the minister should be approving it.
Spadito, but I'm just trying to indicate or illustrate to you the frustration because the speaker was Makokore then. So frustrated, no. That's what they do. And talking of separation of power, there's no separation of power in Botswana. It's not there. And this is what the opposition always preaches. Look at 11th Parliament, we preach separation of power. But going back to this private members bill, go check or tell somebody to check for you, Mohan Sading. I stood up in Parliament in frustration after my attempt to present this private members bill was frustrated. Yes. Ma parliamenta, especially the minister lona the minister za domkrag ke letsa gore lotle modimo a lo tlhae gore le nne le bana ba banang le bogole severe disability. I said that on the floor of parliament after I had been frustrated. I'm not going to win. I did say it's there in the answer.
So after this whole experience, you can put your head on the block and tell people out there that the Parliament of Botswana is not independent.
No, it's not. It's not.
What do you think should be done?
Look, you can't have a parliament that has that is controlled by the executive. Kuro gona ano yana. Mo parlamenteng backbench ya BDP hita ke executive. They don't have the numbers, you see. So, ha executive it's a decision. Backbench is supposed majority rule, I get it. It's supposed to follow what the executive decide. So already, me, you're not kaboyon. I hit the opposition in the So, the executive has got nothing, has got no numbers that can challenge the executive.
Yes. In a minute before go the private members bill, are there any other issues that you brought before Parliament that you think if somebody missed them out there, maybe they should know them by now?
Well, off the cuff, I can't remember, but these are the two major ones. Automatic progression in private members bill. And before we go for a break,
yes,
in the 11th Parliament, I think other than Dabahao Latle, and maybe one or two, in the whole opposition, I'm the only one who brought the private members bill which was rejected by Makokor. Yeah, that's it's a huge task, you know. Yeah, and it's costly. You know, I have to finance a private member's bill.
Yes.
And it goes up to about 30,000, you know. So it's a lot of money. We shouldn't be financing that. We are representing the people. Government should be providing services to do that, not for us to finance that. Yeah.
Were you part of any committees? What committees were you?
Yeah, I was in sports,
and what
health.
was your contribution?
Sports, health.
You ever led any of those committees?
No. I've never led.
What was
But Negele education.
Okay.
Hopeless committees.
Okay.
Hopeless committees
Why are you
because
saying that?
Because Lele 5, for instance, mo committee or Lele 7. Hotenga bo chairman bo nelo mo donkara. Kana by then backbench a donkara NS na dipal. So no tlela ele gore one mo soana le nosi. O chair di committee go di le 3 di le 4. Wa bona. We put gore why can't some of the opposition members chair those committees? So the committees couldn't function because Moswani would sabotage the meetings of the committee. When ne aga ke le mo go ya education, Moswani o tla ba le go ya health. We are supposed to meet. He makes sure that ya health le one meet, but because he has vested interest Moswani ko health. Meeting wa rona wa bounce. Khare for me khora. Madam Karaha ga attend. So, Madam Karaha were in Ronani, we were in about 2-3 committees. Madam Karaha were in about 7-8 committees. Mirba Hetagadipal. So that they dilute our numbers, Modi committee. That was the case.
Yes.
Yeah. So very few committees were functioning then. Hey, I remember really London education. It was just a holiday. It is worry. You know, Sali Machaba. No, Pednerijala Pediamelo. Hosnamosola, it was toothless.
Sidira Koroban Parlamento Pilewa Kaulo. Ya Mauritian Kino Orgalene Motating La Humpino Waching Batenegi. Legato, La Buhero la Tulankilon Linore, Erta Berseti, Ekalormi, Halorale Kakelo, Quatapozu in Robata, Lebanya Le Koroba, Romela Melatako, Pejinia, Batenegi at Parliament, where we are live, as well as Access TV Waka, Harchaka, Bertola Jalo di Tulai.
More ditori tse serious head on with Dalakachi Katatu Livat Bamoli Hatsi.
Minister Abatopiwa inama especially elected bango ba promotiwa ina the head of the director kai likai the permanent secretary go go ke women, that's not women. It is in fact an insult to women.
Ke thola ke ra batho ke re re Masisi ke tsala ya me. And ke tana ke rialo he.
Moruti ga gona moruti wa boammaaruri yo kolobeditsweng ka mo boitshepo yo joiners politics. Baruti bothe ba ba joiners politics mo Botswana ba ta re itshwarela bothe ga se baruti ba boammaaruri.
Re Masisi a tswe mo vice president. Ake anga ka bua gore ke bo mang ne ba rialo because bone go ba te ba tsa gore wa re senyetsa ke re.
mme kgang ya gore Masisi must resign e seng wetsa ka bo morwaeng.
Motsetsume ke bue ke go amogela mo thulaganyong ya Batenegi at Parliament Talk Show ke video wa geng Batenegi thulaganyo e tang go yena la bile mo mo go simula ka nako ile a bosupa go itela ka nako ya boroba bobedi Batenegi at Parliament, that is on Facebook as well as YouTube ja kana ke bua ha ke na le rights so sidirwa khorbo mo Parliament wa pele wa kgaolo ya mo ditshane mme go go la gore le gato le ja kana ke tlhalosa ke rona la bohelo ga o sa botse re khorba potso gone jana khotsa wa khela gore o ta mmana ko o ta mmana ko dipepere re khorba are tswale thulaganyo but ha re tswale thulaganyo yana the decision to defect from the Alliance for Progressives to the Botswana Congress Party. I would like to believe it was a very easy decision for you.
Very easy.
A very easy decision for you, mainly because you are not really fond of the leader of the Umbrella for Democratic Change, Comrade Duma Boko. Am I right?
Yeah, very correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't sell Boko to the nation or in the president. I can't. Because I know him. I know the person that he is. I know the leader he is. So,
what kind of a leader he is?
He's a dictator. He's a narcissist. Yeah, it's all about him. Yeah, Boko is not going. Has not come into politics for the interest of the people. He's coming to politics for his personal interests. Yeah. Like I say, he's a narcissist. You know, being president will be the greatest thing for him. And his leadership style is very, very, he likes being patronized on. Look, I'm telling you, I was telling you earlier, Dumelang as vice president, he didn't know what evidence. How does a man, as a president, not IETC vice president, what kind of a leader is he going to be? What kind?
Yeah, the other leaders from the Alliance for Progressives, your leaders, well, like Nexabatoma mentioned, but yeah, the president, Renko Sinati Haolati, Winter Muluti, and all the other people within the AP, how did they respond to, to you choosing to, go with the Botswana Congress Party?
No, when they made the decision behind my back, they knew that was our...
Which decision was that?
To abandon the BCP and go back to the UDC. Yeah, they knew I wasn't going to go there. I had told them many months before that if you join the UDC, actually, Congress in Yaron, I think it was 2022, my AP, you know, Babuleleti leadership, we are only going to deal with a party in a good governance and good democratic practices. And they made it very clear, not UDC, because UDC does not have good governance, it does not have democratic practices. The decision by UDC was not taken by Congress, it was taken by them.
Yes, so the reasons that are advanced by the Alliance for Progressives for moving out of those possible coalition talks with the Botswana Congress, but you don't buy them?
I know it's all nonsense, it's fabricated, it's lies. Back at the BCP.
Habari.
Let me tell you. The BCP wants to swallow the AP. And the BCP has never done so. You know what happened? Look, when leadership people look, you can't stop them from recruiting each other. So what was happening is ordinary BCP members, you know, naturally would recruit my AP or BCP. And to them it was like, but to Baba leadership, my APL or join the UDC. King was at the UDC is following AP. So it was all personal. It was all personal because they felt UDC had been winning the by-election and the UDC was the thing. But again, they had hoped for UDC in Alemadi for the campaign, like in 2019. Maria Lorumbiana Rabona Pal, Humbiana Mulepola South. There are two candidates, the UDC. Mopanamezi, two candidates. Mohodzani East, two candidates. I look at the wording. There's a list of over 30 wards that are still contested now. Hey, so how can go UDC? And these are things they never experienced. There was peace.
Yes.
There was peace and harmony go BCP. You know, by the time there was a meeting between AP and BCP tomorrow. Today, the AP decided we are calling for a divorce. Kanti BCP on it today. It's a Central and one other constituency, I think Francistown East. BCP had taken a decision on the AP didn't even give them a chance because it wasn't about BCP. It was about no. They negotiated for themselves. AP from the top 5 downwards. Because ndaba penyo butalo intamuluzi le mokhare. Ba negotiated ba le no. Sibona ba sharp di khaola tsa bana di sharp. But go tswa ho go tlaseko. And they are not bothered gore amme ba ka ulengwe shimana launcha ka Saturday. I can show you screenshot sa conversation in the WhatsApp group in Yabone. Shima lela abua ka leadership ya BNF. But I'm not surprised. That's the BNF.
I know you don't necessarily go into politics to possibly like create friendships or any personal relationships. But I want to appreciate. Did this have any or affect any relationship that you might have had with those leaders at the AP? As much as I'm saying you're not going to politics to to create friendship, but along the way you relate. Ndaba le bo re butale le bo re mulutsi ala buisana or
since ba tswa mo ba tlogela BCP ba UDC nna ke sala ko BCP, we don't talk. ha re ka kopana Penyo Butale re tle re kopane once or twice mo di drinksing. Yeah, well, but we pretend because deep down he knows he betrayed me. You know?
Yeah.
He knows deep down he betrayed me, and I know it. I know he's a traitor, and I treat him as such.
So this was what? It had to go to that personal whereby it caused a rift.
You know why it became personal? Because they knew I had influence within the party. Ebe batsama mo di mo maloko nga party mo ba ntshenya leina. Well, not me alone, nalebo amantle. Those who were pro the BCP-AP alliance, nalebo amantle moeti le ba bangwe jalo jalo. Ba tsamaile kore silently underground ba re senya maina. You know, by the time yano ba ntshetsa ko ntle gore ba UDC. Ha re ra chika re tena re ya. Ka re re go ke maloko a AP. Ba re rogela gore ba boleletswe maka.
Maybe you're not listening. The collective, you know, at the AP at that time. Generally, this is just an argument. Generally, we have always been portrayed as
controversial.
This politician and leader who tore the line every time.
No,
maybe you're doing the same.
No, Spanito.
You're being the radical self.
Bon, haki itse gore o braya ka wana mpinje ka wana mo party. Ere re kere go ra kere ka ntaka go ira ga lo o bontsupa ka mona nonta ya o rekisa party wena. Ke rekisa party ya no leadership re bolele toro rekisa party. Wena o itse gore ga o rekisi party. And then you ask yourself, Spanito tsa ka ide sinya or ke rekisa party. Then o bua le Jake halo bua le Peter halo bua le Spanba. They're accusing you of the same thing. Then you realize, no, these people have been fed wrong information about me. Come on. Then, what's the letter?
But were you listening to other leaders?
Which leaders? Let me tell you.
Yeah.
2 weeks before this decision was taken, BCP, Ndabahawala was at my house. Not Kofi Singanaga, at my house. Hantse ke re editse ke utlwa menahune e ka re o batla go UDC. Don't do that. That will be suicidal for you. Don't do that. And I told him, they're going to mislead you. Don't listen to those guys. You know what he said to me? He said, it will never happen. 2 weeks. So, it will never happen. A very 2 weeks later, he didn't even have the courtesy. He didn't have it. Yeah.
But Bangobari, you remained at the Botswana Congress Party. Well, I'm not sure whether remaining is the right way.
Yeah, remaining.
Keralanta AP, you're negotiating with Botswana Congress Party, by that time, because you saw it as an opportunity, to go back to Parliament, especially that the constituency has been, split. You felt it will be easier to go back to Parliament with the Botswana Congress Party rather than any other party.
Let me tell you something. Komoko East. There's no difference between KMK UDC and BCP. There's no difference. So why would I choose the Congress Party over the UDC because Kwatla Parliament? Actually, but Baba choose it based on that. Because Mokware for the longest Haretwa mo BMD ka 2017. You remember Haskins Kaiwa on Asalamo UDC?
Yeah.
Mokware almost remained because Mokware has always believed that without the BNF, Hakakawina Habane Mankoti. He was the last to come. We are adamant to reaffirming the AP. Look, if 2017 ke former AP be ke a go ema ka AP ko mo go ditshane a new party why should gompieno ke feel gore ke batla party eng ka winang ka yona
no I hear you fair enough. Re dumelang Seleshando as your leader at the Botswana Congress Party Alliance. What do you think of him, and why would you believe you'll want to go to these elections leading the that particular coalition? Why do you have so much confidence in him, to be leading you as a pack to the 2024 general elections and possibly be the president if you ever attain that 31 constituencies that you are vying for?
And
what is special about Dumela Saleshane that you think is possibly different from these other leaders? Because it seems like I can see you are thinking through. Because I've always, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I've always known you as a politician who don't only choose a movement, you are also mindful of the person
the leader
who's leading that particular movement.
Oh yeah.
So why Dumela Saleshane?
Dumela Saleshane because he's leading a party called the Botswana Congress Party, a party that is very democratic, that is highly organized. What I like about the Congress Party is, unlike the party trading, Dumela, executive committee. So Dumela is a great leader. I think he'll do a great job as president of this country, but he'll do a great job more, especially because he has a very good team rallying behind him, a team of experts rallying behind him.
Robert Tsepiso, why is opposition divided? How can we how can we actually have a united opposition? I think, do you believe, first and foremost, do you believe in a united opposition? Do you think that is possible?
I do.
And, if you can answer his question very quickly before Ketsaimaki.
We've tried. In 2022, the opposition wanted to unite. Dumaboko failed to attend those meetings for the whole of 2022 until we told Rona AP BCP are forming alliance. So
Georgina Macheta, Parliament Speaker and Raskelamani is retiring soon. Do you think future Parliament debates will be handled fairly by the now Deputy Speaker Ponomo Atuli, who is likely to be promoted to the Speaker? If he is not the proper caliber, is there any alternative to Triple P from the BDP side? Likely, because maybe we can respond to
No. Triple P would be a bad speaker. Would be a bad speaker. I'm sorry to say it, but he's a bootlicker. I shouldn't use this word, but he is.
Who would you vie for?
Well, in the crop of BDP members of parliament, I don't see anybody that I can vie for. But with the speaker, I agree you can rope in anybody from outside, not necessarily from members of parliament.
I thought maybe you could have a name on top of your head.
I don't even want to think about it, because once you are within the system of the BDP, it curtails you from being independent.
What has been your take on how Raskelamani has been conducting the parliamentary proceedings?
He hasn't been bad.
Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't been bad. Yeah,
he has been very good.
No, not good, but he's been okay. Yeah, he's been okay.
Okay, so you feel like for a very long time we had the speaker that is a bit better.
Yeah, much better than Bo Mankokor. He's fair. Yeah. And I think he's conscious of being a lawyer. Look, justice must prevail. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Akitsera rekgoroba mahoko a go abogelo mme mahokong a go abogelo o telang ba mo go ditshani east nako ile no le ya mo parliament a mo go ditshani mme ano o telang ba mo go ditshani east se sesha se leng gore ba ka solela gore mme rekgoroba ke ene gore re ka mo roma ko parliamenteng a re emela.
Yeah, earlier on you asked me about unfinished business. In August 2018, I sat down with the land board, because one of the big issues is land allocation. I sat down with the land board and they told me their problems. And I wrote to, public officers, they don't even have easy access to the president, especially at that level. So I made recommendations of how we can resolve issues talent body in August 2018. ke tswa ka August 2019 re Masisa isi at least to acknowledge hore ke bone lekwalo ke bone the recommendations tsa gago. No, nothing. And instead of maybe ignoring, responding to me, but implementing my recommendations, he made matters worse. So I need to go back to go and sort out this issue ya lehatse ko Mogoditshane. But the other thing ko Mogoditshane that bothers me is Batswakwa, especially in the informal sector. We are right now trying to address it, but I would address it better as a member of parliament. Batswakwa ba bantsi thata mo dikgwebo potlaneng and ba itse Batswana go rana dikgwebo because ba bantsi. The other two ke crime. I tried very much during my time to address crime. I even tried to engage the late Isaac Khosegore. But police has got limitations. Let's use your institution. May his soul rest in peace. To say, yeah, he would say, yeah, but when you call him, he doesn't take your calls, and that's it. But the biggest issue is unemployment, which is national. The BCP has got a very good plan to solve this issue, unemployment. And that is what I'm bringing together with the BCP to bring this unemployment down, because with a population of 88,000, and you can imagine, 30, 40,000 being unemployed. I want to go and help the BCP deal with that.
Right, Chili.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming, Brayaka.
Yeah.
Easy just.
Sure, Spanito. Itara.
No, sure, Maname.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming through. Swagger.
Sure.
Nele raiso Sidira. Chili boy, Horoba. Kene no gore ne kena le ne mo tsatsing la gompieno go gologala gape gore ene le mo parlamente wa kgaolo ya Mogoditshane mme moro ga gore di kgaolo tseo di ntsi hadiwe kgaolo ya Mogoditshane na kgaogana ga bedi jaaka ne re bua mme na o ka ha o taba emetse mo parlamente mo kgaolong ya Mogoditshane East ke ne gore o taba I emetse na ke video wa geng Batenegi Parliament, the Facebook page as well as YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe Access TV Facebook. Go tela go pana mo na kwenye tamagetso a ene boroko.